everyone, this is Nitro. Since this week is the last week of September, I thought this video for this week is going to cover what my plans are for October. So I'm going to begin by talking about the upcoming banners for this month before I go into my account specifically. So first of all, tomorrow, October 1st, there's going to be several new events. All of these have been confirmed, and the banner for tomorrow will be a Wowler and Young Jessica banner. Right? Both are very good heroes, although Wowler really needs to be 6 stars to be used for PvP, while Young Jessica can actually be used even at 4 stars for PvE content. So she's quite versatile and useful in that sense. There's also going to be a Secret Realm event, the Day of Shining Sweats event. And apparently this is an event where you can get Vargas shards. Right? We'll see how it looks like when it comes tomorrow. Other than that, there's actually going to be 2 reruns of skin events. One is for Shephaniel and Angelina's cheerleader skins, and the other is for Lana and Luna swimsuit skins. So the swimsuit skin rerun is a bit of a surprise. We were expecting this way earlier than this, but it's coming now. Okay, I guess no real complaints there. So the interesting question then is what happened to the Emilia Maho Shoujo skin as well as the Lestel Season 4 winner skin? So both of those are currently missing. Maybe they'll show up as well tomorrow, but it's kind of questionable what happened to them at this point. I mean, we can 100% expect the Season 4 winner skin to come soon. You know, maybe not this week, maybe next week or the week after, but at least the Season 4 winner skin is guaranteed to appear sooner or later. It's more the Emilia skin that's, we don't know what happened with that. Alright, moving on then. So next week, October 8th. For that week, it's an Emilia, Ares, and Betty Destiny Summon banner. So guaranteed hero that you don't have at this time. If I draw on it, I can actually get a guaranteed Emilia, but I have no real reason to get her because I'm not going to be grinding her up. So a good hero, but it's just unfortunate that I don't see myself ever grinding up Emilia as one of my tanks. So I don't even know if I'm going to draw on it. We'll see. Currently, we're not expecting any events for the October 8th week, but once again, there might be the Season 4 Lestel skin. We'll see. Next, we move on to October 15th. The banner for that week is the Landius, Yulia, and Juggler banner. And that is a week before a major update, so that week we'll have a Macho Lotto. And the Macho Lotto for that week is the Night of Mysteries or Mystery Night skin. So it's the one where she's using the candlestick as her weapon. Right? After that, we move on to October 22nd. So that is the major update week, and it's major update 23 at that point. So with major update 23, there should be a Secret Realm event, Childlike Adventures. Did I mix things up? Childlike Adventures is supposed to have Vargas shards. So I might have mixed up the event's Day of Shining Sweat. Okay, we'll see what happens with Day of Shining Sweat. I think I did mix up the events. Okay, but moving on, Childlike Adventures for Vargas shards. There's going to be multiple 3Cs unlocked for that week. The Hobo 3C, Helena 3C, Joshua gets his 3C, Sigma gets his 3C, and Verakia gets her 3C. And the exclusives for that major update will be Virash and Narm. And the final week of October, October 29th, we'll have a typical 2-character banner, Angelina and Illustrio. For this, because it's right before Halloween, we're going to assume that there will be a Halloween event, and this should be a second Halloween event where we might just finally get the Gargoyle Troop skin for free. There might be Sophia shards, and potentially the Sophia skin rerun. I'm not sure about those last 2 points, but we'll see when the event comes. So, in terms of my shard farming plans for October then, I'm pretty much completely focused on farming up Ariane Rod, Licorice, and Akaya shards. Right? That's going to be my plan for until the major update. And with the major update, I will very likely transition to farming Hobo Landius. Okay. Even though I won't have Licorice complete at that point, I'm going to transition to farming up Hobo anyways, because he is so far behind the other characters that I think it's more of a priority to get him as high star leveled as possible. Right? I can get the other characters like Licorice, or for example, if I stop Licorice, I can get her finished at 6 stars before the Apex Arena playoffs. Right? I can finish Arianrod, then finish Licorice, just fine. Right? But Oldius or Hobo Landius or whatever you want to call him, he is not going to be finished for the Apex playoffs. So I'm going to have to farm him up right away to get him as high star level as possible. So there's that adjustment right there. As soon as I get him, I'm going to farm him up. So moving on. So shard farming plans are pretty straightforward at this point. The only adjustment I might have to make for the shard farming plans would be if we get an 18 Gate of Fate event for either 1 week or 2 weeks. But that would actually just be a good thing for me in terms of shard farming. So we'll wait and see. Right. So in terms of equipment farming results for last week, which is the 21st to 27th, the week before last week I got 11 SSRs, which is actually a pretty standard and decent amount. Last week I got an insane 19. That's right, 19 SSRs in 1 week. It was absolutely crazy. Okay? In addition to that, from the Challengers Arena, getting 3 wins there, I managed to get my very first Apex boots, which means my Arianrod can equip Apex boots, which is also a nice thing. I don't have Arianrod built up properly yet, but when she is, she'll have 4 mobility to start, and having extra mobility always helps any character that can get it. Timeless Trials last week though gave me a Veil of Light, right? I just ordered that. And the Helmet Gambles was 300 ore, while the Armor Gambles gave me 2 usable ones, a Baldur's White Robe and an Azure Legend, both of which raises my next piece of gear, my 3rd one of each, to level 30. But, until they're level 50, they're not exactly 100% usable. Although I do use them for a lot of characters that I only use for auto-battling, like PvE content. Like, for example, I don't know, Lithany and Egbert for PvE content, right? Characters like that, who I use in Guild Wars. Right? So, it works out pretty well. And I slowly leveled up these kind of equipment. In terms of the actual farming results, I actually got a very decent amount of items, okay? For example, Dragon Slayer Gram and Assault Headgear on Monday. I actually kept the Dragon Slayer Gram just because they're rare, not that I really need it. Tuesday got me an Assault Suit and my 6th Last Rites. So that is pretty much the last one that I need, and it makes me quite happy. And I got a Battery Destructress and Ragnarok on Tuesday as well. Right? Ragnarok is the 7th one, which is absolutely insane. I don't really need that many at all. I need maybe 2, right? So I have a lot of them collected. Whether I'll feed them into each other to build up a level 50 Ragnarok, we'll see. There's no rush to build another one up. Okay. Wednesday, a Dark Crown and an Aesis Helmet, both of which were ordered. Thursday, Tiara, Assault Headgear, both were ordered. I got the Challengers Arena Apex boots that day, right? I'm just repeating myself, but that one just made me so happy. So it was just a great item to get, sorely needed, like direly needed, and it's just very convenient to get one right when I needed it, because now I'll have Arianrod properly built up, or at least the way I want her to be built. A lot of people prefer having the Judge's Talisman to have Arianrod do maximum damage against Holy class characters. Can't say that's wrong either. Right? 12% extra damage is quite significant. Moving on, Friday got me a Goddess Dress, which makes me a 2nd Goddess Dress at level 50. I got a lot of Goddess Dresses in the past. It's just that I had only built up 1 in the past. Now I have built up 2. I haven't equipped actually on Shafaniel, and it's more because my thought process here is I don't use Shafaniel for PvP. If there comes up another character that needs a Goddess Dress, I'll have one to give her. That's pretty much it. The other SSRs on Friday was a Vampire Mask, an Assault Headgear, and Fujin's Wing, all of which was ordered. And then Saturday, 3 more pieces of gear, all of which were ored, Twilight Helmet, Dark Robe, Seal Guardian, and finally on Sunday didn't really get me any accessories. But I did do 4 random accessory box purchases, and one of those random accessory box purchases got me another Star Earring. So this makes me level 30, third copy of a Star Earring. Might as well build them up because Star Earrings counter archers and assassins. You never know when you might want a character to get something like that. So, in terms of the gear that I still need then, the number of items has decreased. Of particular note, I no longer need the last rites. Well, I could always use more, but they're not high priority pieces of gear anymore. Right? Having, as I showed previously, having 6 last rites is pretty much enough for my current box, because I've removed a lot of assassins. I used to run Zerda, Hiei, Omega, and Illustrial, right? Those 4 right there used up all my last rites. But now that I've removed a lot of those assassins from my Apex box, I don't need so many last rites. That's not to say that getting more of them won't make me happy, because they certainly will. But for my Apex team, I don't need more than this at this point. Maybe that'll change in the future. Maybe I'll go back to an assassin box and I'll be desperate for last rites again. But for now, I'm pretty happy. The items that I'm still kind of looking for though would be another Extreme Magic Bow if possible. Right? That way Hiei and Zerda can each have one. It's also interesting about the Extreme Magic Bow, I have to mention, because there will be a piece of gear, an archer piece of gear, or sorry, an assassin piece of gear, if you will, which decreases the enemy's defense value. Right? And that one is probably better than Extreme Magic Bow for your assassins at that point, because currently assassins can no longer assassinate high defense heroes. But with the ability to ignore part of the enemy defense, they may be able to start assassinating characters again, which makes the assassins useful once more. So, but that's a banner that's in the future, not available to us right now. You know, it only becomes really available when that equipment banner shows up. So, and I think that equipment banner is in December with the Overlord collaboration. So when that shows up, you can almost say Extreme Magic Bows become obsolete in a lot of ways, which means maybe I don't even need the Extreme Magic Bow either. Okay. I might, for the next week's video, I'll probably remove the weapon requirement as well. So that would only leave me requiring 2 Tenyos headdresses. Because I currently have 5 Tenyos headdresses, I want 2 more. One of them will go on the upcoming major update character, Hobo. The other one will go on Liana. And in terms of accessories, I'm also going to remove the Ariane Rod, because I just got that Apex boots. So accessory wise, just need 3 at this point, right? More Twilight Stars, because Sonya, Akaya, and Illustrial can all use them. More Juggler plushies, because Iris, Tieris, and Imelda can all use them. And then more Sorcerous Medals, because some of the characters who could use them, but there are more, include Bozo, Landius, and Reed. Right? Other characters include, let's say, Sophia, if you put her into your party. Right? Basically, anyone who's not a damage dealer, like more about debuffing or protecting your characters and healing them and so on, can really benefit from the Sorcerous Medal, because the immunity to fixed damage and immunity to silence will guarantee them the ability to keep launching out their skills. So even like AoE attackers like Rin and Bozo can really benefit from it, because it's more important for them to be able to launch out AoEs than do additional damage. So now that all of that is covered, we jump into the game. So first things first, I might as well open up the store, and right now you can see that my crystal count has actually dropped. It's actually because I stupidly did some summoning last week. I didn't even record it. It was just me like being half awake, and I decided to summon on this banner with Rosalia and Noemi. Like I was literally half awake. Like the first thing I woke up, I was doing some of my other stuff, and I was like, let's just summon on the Rosalia Noemi's banner. I don't know what I was thinking, but I ended up using 70 summons on it, and I ended up getting the character I didn't want, of course, which was Noemi. So, you know, I guess I got a waifu character, I don't know, but I truly didn't need her, and she's truly just gonna sit here without being used at all. So, very stupid, very much a waste of 70 summons. And you can see I currently have, yeah, my crystal count dropped as a result because I did the 70 summons, 4,751. My Trinity voucher count is at 30, but the only reason why it's increased to 30 is because I got my strategist squad gift. So I got my 20 Trinity vouchers for October. I was able to order them early and get them given to me because in China, I think they currently have like a vacation or something. So they decided to just give me the items early rather than, you know, wait until they come back from their vacation time. So yeah, got my Trinity vouchers for the upcoming month. The Trinity crystals will be late, right? Because the new month is just coming by and they're on vacation. Yeah, so we'll see. It's become even more of a dangerous gamble because I wasted those 70 summons on Noemi. If I had 70 additional summons for the next major update with Helena and Hobo, then I would have a higher chance of getting Hobo, but now it's a little bit dangerous. So fingers crossed, let's see what happens. Man, I really wish I didn't do that. That's all I can say at this point, but oh well. Other than that, in terms of enchanting, I actually spent a lot of enchants on Sophia. That was one of my things that I was doing this week, right? First, I committed resources into Sophia so that she's now in her Martyr class rather than the Prophet class. And the Martyr class has better stats, and I've mastered this class. So I'm going to start enchanting her up because she is part of the Mythical Realm faction. And that means she would benefit from a faction buff from, let's say, Gizaroth. And she would actually benefit from a faction buff from Hobo when he's released. So in that sense, building Sophia up into your party works very well. In addition, since Sophia has her exclusive armor now, this exclusive armor causes her to buff any ally she casts skills on with 15% attack increase, 20% magic defense increase, as well as a 30% defense increase. So it's like the stats are mixed up, but it's kind of like a faction buff for those situations where you don't actually have a faction buffer. So that makes Sophia very, very useful and versatile in a lot of ways. Right? She can cast Mass Heal constantly every other turn, and that would keep refreshing the skill. It only lasts 2 turns, unlike a faction buff that lasts 4. But the fact that she can keep casting things like Rewind, like Mass Heal, and maybe another AoE skill on your allies, like Mass Resist or a regular heal spell, means she can kind of keep up the buff that she provides on allies at will. So that's quite significant. I've actually met enemies running Sophia in multiple boxes now. And what's been really nasty about facing Sophia as well is that the Rewind allows those enemies to refresh their AoE skills. So Sophia fits very, very well into AoE assault teams as a result. I'm going to have to change up her gear, of course. Of particular note, I'm no longer going to be running the speed boots on her. But what I've seen so far is she's amazing with, of course, a Swordsmith medal, right? Immunity to fixed damage, immunity to silence means that she can keep casting out her spells. If you don't have a Swordsmith medal, of course, you'll probably switch over to a Holy Ring, which is why I'm probably going to build one next, just to give her and enchant it with Tree of Life. And yeah, unfortunately in terms of enchants, I rolled 120 Tree of Life enchants, so SR enchants in this case. Didn't get any 15% int increase yet. So far she has a 10% int increase of 4% hit points, which is kind of right? I rolled 20 SSR scrolls of Tree of Life as well for her armor, and so far the best one has been 8% hit points and 4 int, which is also garbage. So I'm gonna have to waste more scrolls rolling these two, and then I'm hoping I might get a Swordsmith medal, but if I don't, I'll build up a Holy Ring for her, you know? Kind of a let's see what happens situation. I'm hoping I don't have to build up a Holy Ring for her, but if that's the only option, then that's what I'll do. Right? So it's just one of those situations. At least there's 2 copies of Holy Rings right now, so that would be equal to a level 31, which only needs 2 more Epic Martial Spirits. So yeah, Sophia needs some enchanting and gear building. Arianrod needs a bit of gear building. You can see the Apex boots I've now leveled up to level 40, need to raise that to level 50. She has a Fury of Tyr that also needs to be raised to level 50, and then her gear set will be ready. So Arianrod is mostly built. It's just waiting for her to hit 6 stars. And then Aka is just going to be steadily being built up. Currently, she's still in her mage class. And usually what I've seen is people use her in the cavalry class, right? Sheikah Battle Wizard and then Sheikah Saintess. So that needs runestones. And I currently have 0 runestones. So big lack there. And I need runestones for Hobo as well this month. So Akaya is just getting starred up, but she's not going to hit her final class until later on. Lots of characters to build, resources to spend, just steadily grinding up characters in general. And beyond that, what I'm going to do is I purchased that runestone for this month, of course, previously, and I'm going to have to purchase the runestone again for the upcoming month. Fortunately, I currently have 5,499 memory essence. That should give me enough to do the accessory purchases. And as for the runestone purchase, because I did some of these summons, I have a bunch new hero memory shards to gather. So if I turn all of this into memory essence, I'm getting 1,480. So it's still not enough to get the runestone, but if I do my summoning on the banner, I should have enough for both the SSR accessories and the runestone then. So we'll see what kind of SSR accessories I get, well, tomorrow. Other than that, it's time to do my gambling. I pretty much said I'm not going to gamble any further on the SSR armors because I really do need to purchase epic martial spirits. But I'm going to still try for that last Tenyo's headdress. Didn't get it. 3 garbage items. I'm going to buy these for sure, and I think I'm going to purchase the Tree of Life enchants, which is what I'm building on Sophia. So might as well do that. And then I'm just going to start buying epic martial spirits, right? I could purchase the SSR armors to try to gamble for last rites, but keep in mind that every 3 gambles is, assuming I turn all of those gambles back into ore, that's the equivalent of having 1 additional epic martial spirit in the first place, because you're wasting 300 ore. So for now, I mean, it's not like I'm desperate for SSR for last rites anymore. I could use more, don't get me wrong. I could definitely use more, but it's more like I'm no longer desperate for it. And I'd rather just focus on only 1 gamble per week from here on out. So I'll continue to do headgear until I get my last Tenyo's headdress. After that, I might just do 3 gambles of armors every week. So I'll buy the epic martial spirit for now to stop me from gambling on the armors. It's too tempting to do both gambles, so kind of removing the temptation by purchasing that epic martial spirit. So I'm going to turn those items I just got back into ore. So you can see I actually have 2 Frostfire crowns. One of them was actually from today's dragon farming. And I'll turn that tiara back into ore, as well as the carbon fiber helmet. The other items that are sitting here are currently usable. That's why I've kept them. For example, this one can level up a level... It could level up a level 40 Galaxy Cloak. This one levels up to level 50 Goddess Dress. It's just I'm not willing to spend the gold on that stuff at this time. So that's why those are kept. And I'm going to actually buy those other 2 epic martial spirits right now. Just stop myself, prevent myself from being tempted to buy the SSR armors. So the reason I'm currently purchasing so many epic martial spirits, I covered it last week, but I'll mention it again. I have a lot of exclusive gear that's still left at level 20 that needs upgrading, in addition to all those new sets of gear that I'm building, right? Leon has a level 20 armor. Bernhard has a level 20 armor on him, the Overlord's armor. So those are additional pieces of gear that I need to build. Young Jessica has her armor at level 20, right? So there's a whole bunch of items I still really do need to build for characters, and thus might as well start buying epic martial spirits now. Even Sonya, if I ever plan to use her, she needs her Fury of Tyr upgraded to level 50. Of course, in order to use Sophia, I'd have to change up her whole gears, enchants, and so on. But there's more limitations on upgrading Sophia than just upgrading her gear. But it just shows there's a whole bunch of characters whose gear I still need to build. So lots to do. And plus, I'm focusing on epic martial spirits for now, rather than gambling. Alright, and in terms of the training ground, so the training ground has made a bit of progress over the past week, from what I remember. I did a few more cavalry upgrades, I think. Or that's what I'm focusing on right now, right? Upgrading the group charge skill, for example. Upgrading the not the rapid route, the fine steel hooves skill. I think this got one upgrade, for example. It's now at level 30. So I'm going to raise it to level 35 and presumably to level 45 soon. So that was one upgrade I did here. And yeah, those are the two techs I'm looking at. So Dark Necklace, Burning Straps for one, and also Dark Necklace and Pretty Sprays for the other. So that was the cavalry training ground that I'm really doing at this time. The Flyer and Aquatic. This one just needs Crazy Shorts and a few more epic breeding manuals, and I should be able to get the Griffin Knights to level 10. So after the Griffin Knights are at level 10, I'd have to choose between Gargoyles and Steel Wing Warriors. And I think what I'm going to do is Steel Wing Warriors first, due to the resources. Right? Crazy Shorts and Devout Gloves, while the cavalry techs are using the what is it called? The cavalry techs are using the Dark Necklaces along with Pretty Sprays. So that just balances out nicely for me to get these two upgrades smoothly done. Holy and Demon is currently taking a little bit of a backseat as a result because they use Devout Gloves and Pretty Sprays. Okay, so Pretty Sprays, Devout Gloves. So for now, it's temporarily taking a backseat in terms of the upgrades, and I'm focusing on the other ones. But that's okay. You know, I'd rather this one is. I'll make sure I'll have it done before the Apex playoffs. Right? There's tons of time before that. But right now, I just want to get. I really do want to get my cavalry training ground complete, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. Right? Which means at least finishing up this tech, which needs Pretty Sprays and Dark Necklaces. So, getting those two training grounds done first, then Holy and Demon. Once all three are complete, we'll look at the next one. But Flyer and Aquatic is going to eat up a lot of time too. Like once I have Holy and Demon done, the Flyer and Aquatic, I still need to upgrade the joint defense training and so on. And that's going to require quite a bunch of resources. Like for example here, I would want to finish this tech. All aquatic units gain attack and magic defense whenever they're attacking water. I'm going to want to maximize the joint defense training as well as this core defense. So, lots to do. Flyer and Aquatic, Holy and Demon. Once both of these are done, then I have to decide between Archer and Assassin or Infantry training. And that's going to be a tough choice since I actually do use a lot of Archer and Assassin soldiers. Of note, I do use Catapults. I do use Bolt Rangers, and both of these characters would really benefit from extra defense and hit points. And then of course, Sky Archers are used in PvE content, so there's a whole bunch of things I can actually do for this training ground too. Right? So, it's gonna be a tough choice, that's for sure. But that's my current training ground status. You know, just steadily strengthening for Apex Arena. There are 63 days after all in the point race, so that is tons of time. 63 days is pretty much 2 months, so we're looking at the end of November, right? The start of December would be when Apex playoffs begin at that point. So lots and lots of time. I'm currently ranked at 1713 because I was higher previously. I think at one point I was 1741, but then I lost a bunch of matches. So I lost 2 in a row, and both of those losses ended up pushing my score back down. Whatever. I'll spend some time to slowly grind up. You know, that's pretty much it. And I think that pretty much covers my current setup. I mean, I'll show my gallery of heroes since I did ended up drawing for Noemi, which was super stupid. You know, don't be like me. But yes, this is my gallery, right? So the Langrisser Mobile Chapter 1 heroes, I'm missing Emilia, which I could get a copy of if I draw on the Destiny Summon banner next week. Langrisser Mobile Chapter 2, I'm missing Elucia. Langrisser 1, I have everyone. Langrisser 2, I have everyone. Langrisser 3, I have everyone. Langrisser 4, I have everyone as well. Langrisser 5, I have everyone. Reincarnation, right? Because I drew for Noemi, I'm only missing Rosalia at this point. And as for crossover heroes, the only hero I'm missing in the crossover pages is actually the Toguro brothers, right? From Yu Yu Hakusho. So I have everyone else on the other pages. This one's kind of tough because the only way I could seriously consider trying to draw for Toguro brothers is if I don't grind Hiei up to 6 stars. So currently I have Hiei at 5 stars. I've done videos of people still using Hiei very, very effectively as an assassin in PvP, Apex PvP. So whether I leave Hiei as at 5 stars to make sure I can summon for Toguro Bros, or just grind up to 6 stars and give up on Toguro Bros, that's a decision I'll definitely have to make. It's hard to resist grinding Hiei up to 6 stars, but at the same time, I currently don't have any shard farming plans available for him, so that part's okay. Right. Anything left to cover at this point? I don't really think so. You know, I talked about everything with my account that has changed over the past week. You know, I've done some enchanting, didn't work out, all that kind of stuff. You know, I do have 16 new rare enchant gift packs, and that's, if you multiply that by 5, we're talking about 80 SSR scrolls right now sitting here. I also have an Aniki voucher apparently that I have to use up, but whatever. But the big problem with doing this stuff is basically gold. Right? I only have 2 million gold. I don't have enough gold to use up all of these rare enchant gift packs at once. I mean, heck, I still have these arena stat super mastery stones, 30 of them, and I haven't done these enchants yet. And the thing about that is, a lot of my PvP characters don't have fully completed mastery enchants, right? For example, taking a look at this, Bozo could use a lot more defense. You know, he could also use the suffered crit damage increase. You know, most of my characters, their arena bonuses aren't really well done yet, and so I can definitely use those enchants to improve them. But keep in mind as well, I have new characters getting released very soon, like joining my party, like Hobo Landius, for example. So there is work to be done. Actually, I should probably upgrade this one for sure. The Licorice defense and the Licorice hit points. So maybe I'll do that right now. So let's roll. Garbage rolls. So there we go, a 450 roll. Perfect. So that's a significant improvement right there. And then the defense roll, this one's tough, but I'll roll it later. So, but yeah, you can see that there's a bunch of heroes that could definitely use improvements for these enchants, and they would increase their usability in PvP. So, but I don't see it as an absolutely top priority to do at this time, right? It's more, I should get this done for Apex Arena playoffs once again. Oh wow, actually, Reen has a lot of lower stats than I expected him to, right? Attack is surprisingly low. His skill increase is crappy, and I actually don't even have an enchant in this slot, which should probably be hit points to increase his survivability, right? So definitely a bunch of things to roll on Reen, for example. Like I'm bringing in a whole bunch of new heroes into my party very recently, right? With the collab banner, there's Arianrod, there's Reen, right? Arianrod hasn't gotten any enchants here yet, so there's work to be done on her. Right? Reen just got a few, but he needs more done. Sophia is new and needs a whole bunch of class mastery enchants done, so lots of works in progress. Alright, so we'll leave the video at this point here. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you found this kind of interesting or useful to you. And on that note, Nitro out.